know what I've done, and I know our lives. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you things about my dead husband that are dead because of his sickness. It's not worth it. And we made it through that, and I did too. And that made us stronger. And I loved him. And for whatever reason, nothing in this world.
Teresa tells the detectives she loved Jim, that she would have stood by him. The detectives have witnesses who remember the marriage differently. Those witnesses are ready to talk, and they are not the only problem she has not accounted for.
Ask what you want. We'll go wherever, call George, do whatever, your affairs. I had one, we were separated, and Ashley, you all put him in jail. And that was Danny.
Like, I mean, I'm honest.
But I'm kind of curious how the rest of them is.
That's how I am. I'm an honest kind of guy, and I can prove that you had more than one. I can prove that your finances weren't good. I can prove
I told you they weren't good because neither one of us had been well.
I can prove that they weren't getting any better. I can prove that you didn't leave the house when you said you did.
Robin says you didn't leave the house when you say you did.
Somewhere between 8:15 and 8:30.
Robin's 8:45 or later. At least at a minimum 8:45.
I ain't going there because she is.
But even without her, if she hadn't told us that, I can still prove that you left the house.
We know what time you left the house.
I think you knew what was going on. I do.
How would I have known what was going on?
That's what I'm here to find out. That's what I'm trying to find out. I would like for you to start being honest with us.
That is my husband of 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved him. Ask anybody.
Well, we've asked a lot of people.
Call his mother. Call anybody. I don't know. Call them.
That's what we're telling you. We've been calling people.
We've been calling people. And people
and
been calling
everybody
us.
we talk to says the same thing. And what you're portraying as your life is
So who
not.
are you calling? Because I can count the ones that know better.
We're calling people that knew you guys.
And they're calling us.
Like who?
Well, there's lots of people.
Guys, I love my husband. He had me 2 wonderful children. And I would have never hurt him. Ever.
I don't say that I disagree with that.
I know that. I know that. And
I think there's a lot more going on than what you're willing to tell us.
I don't want to tell you things about him to make him look like a bad person because he wasn't. He was sick.
All we're wanting is the truth.
And that is.
Yeah.
But I care.
We're not getting we're not getting the truth from you. You know, not all of it's the truth.
Because it's going to make him look like a bad person. He's not.
I mean,
Very reputable people that have known me for many years. And I'm just me. What you see is what you get. And I love my husband more like myself. Why would I burn my husband alive?
you know what an accelerant is?
No.
Can't tell when you're being honest or when you're lying to me anymore.
Well,
Because you've lied so
you.
much.
Teresa Conley is 34 years old. A few days before this interview, she set fire to the house while her 57-year-old husband Jim was still inside. While the house burned, surveillance cameras at a Chick-fil-A down the road recorded her having lunch with the kids.
Y'all drove straight to Chick-fil-A. From your house, Chick-fil-A is no more than 8 minutes.
Now, through desperate lies,
I think you're lying to us. I do.
You were lying.
But not on purpose.
and even worse acting, detectives will establish that what happened inside the Conley household was no accident.
I don't know anything about fire.
See, there's only 2 people who know what the truth are. One of them is dead now, and the other one is you. And we know you're lying.
It is the morning of June 29th, 2007, in Ringgold, Georgia. Teresa loads her 2 children into the car and drives toward Chick-fil-A. As they pull away, 11-year-old Caleb notices black smoke rising from the house. Teresa tells him she was burning papers. They keep going. Inside, Jim Conley is already on his feet. He tries to stomp out the flames. The burns on the soles of his feet will later confirm that. What he cannot fight is the smoke, and he loses consciousness before he can get out. EMS find his body in a back bedroom. The fire started in the kitchen. A petroleum-based accelerant, not gasoline, is distributed throughout the house. No electrical fault is found. Jim's bloodstream contains an unusual concentration of antidepressants and sedatives. His autopsy lists the cause of death as smoke inhalation. A few days later, Teresa comes in for questioning.
I just wanted to talk to you once again about the events of last week dealing with this fire. Okay. You've had a little bit of time to think about some things. You know, I know the day we did the first interview, you know, was you just heard about all this and drove back from Knoxville. So,
just hit them.
well, I want you to kind of go over the events from last week dealing with this fire. I know, but I want you to go over them again for me. Okay.
I don't know anything about fire.
Well, tell us again.
Start off in the morning time. What time did you wake up? That kind of stuff.
I don't know. It was we always woke up 6:30, 7 o'clock, drank our coffee together, talked. I don't know, husband and wife things. That's what you do before you get kids up. And I was going to go get a car, took my shower. He talked to the kids a little bit. Said he didn't feel well, but he'd been in bed for like 4 days. I mean, I can pull office records to show you he's worked like maybe 6, 7 days in 4 months. Anyway, long story short, he said his stomach was upset and he was going to fix toast. And kissed me, told me he loved me. Those kids loved him. And it says when we got back.
Until recently, Jim ran a chiropractic practice called the Alpha Wellness Center. Teresa worked there with him, first as a receptionist, then as a massage therapist and office manager. When Jim contracted Lyme disease and could no longer see patients, the income stopped. The bills did not. Then Teresa received a phone call that would become relevant later.
Jerry called from the office and told me to pull over, and I'm like, I can't pull over, I'm in much traffic. And he told me to get phone to Rob, and I did. She told me to get out of the car. I got out of the car, asked her what was wrong, and she told me my house is on fire, and Jim hit me. I just lost it there. I walked around with him and fell apart and held my head up and come back home, and they told me I need to come here, and that's when I met you guys. And last 3 days don't even ask me about, because I don't even know. I know the kids are fed, clean, clothed, loved. I've kept them right with me. But nothing makes sense, and I don't understand, and I don't know what to do. You guys tell me. This is your scope, not mine. I don't know what to do. I don't know what you need to know. I don't know how to answer you because I wasn't there,
Well, I mean,
and I don't know.
The easiest way to answer us is to make sure you're telling us the truth when you answer us. Everything that you tell has to be accurate, because it's more difficult to tell a lie, because when we turn around and we find out if there's a lie, it's easy to verify.
Your word's your bond, and you're only as good as your bond, or as your word. That's how I was raised. I'm sorry. If I've done it,
So you're only as good as your word.
that's it.
Right. Convert that one.
And you can pull, I don't care, call anybody you want to. Very reputable people that have known me for many years. And I'm just me. What you see is what you get. And I love my husband more like himself. We had our hard times because he did get sick. And everybody has financial problems. It wasn't anything we wasn't going to get through.
So you say you had a good marriage?
We had a wonderful marriage. I mean, everybody has their days you don't like them. You love them, but you don't like them. But
So your only problems in your marriage were dealing with his health and financial problems.
and those had just started really the last 2 years. And yes, there was an age difference between us, but he was a late bloomer.
Jim had hired Teresa when she was 21. He was 41. She became pregnant with their son Caleb, and they married the following year. Their daughter Allison was born a few years after. What Jim suspected as their marriage continued was that Teresa was having affairs, more than one. He also suspected she had been siphoning money from the practice for years. Both suspicions were accurate. When Lyme disease took him out of the office, the financial gap he had been generating closed, and what Teresa had been quietly removing from the accounts became harder to hide.
He pretty much went downhill after that, about the last, really back 4 to 6 months. Gradually, the last 2 years, but he's been sick for about 6. But he still worked, he's still done everything. He was a happy man. I mean, he did.
So he went back to bed.
I guess, because I left that and he said he was making toast.
Well, he went to bed after getting up. You know.
God, he asked me for something more. He asked me for a t-shirt. He had sweated real bad, and I got him a t-shirt. And he changed that. And I told him, I asked him, did you want to go with me? And he said, no, he could. And I asked him, did he want me to make his toast? And he said, no, just go on. I'll be okay. And
Where did this conversation take place at?
oh, God, I don't know, kids were running around.
Was it in your bedroom? Was he up? Was he still in bed?
Honestly, I think he was in the bathroom. Probably you get through the door.
Okay.
He said, no, he'd handle it and just go. And he said, wait a minute. And I waited and told us he loved us and be careful and see you later.
Who was the last one to leave the house?
All of us went together.
Y'all went together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I had a rental car at the time. Mm-hmm. So she went with me to drive it back so I could get this car and down in the truck.
Well, he's talking about like exiting
out of the house. Walking out of the house. Who was the last one to walk out of the house?
Teresa is having trouble accounting for who was last to leave the house that morning. The detective is not having the same trouble. The timeline he is working with places Teresa as the last adult on the premises. She made sure of that. The children were already in the car.
I don't know. You're asking me things and it's like, you think about them, it's like, I don't know. I'm so used to being chaotic and getting car gets in, or if you got everything and hurrying, and I was trying to make traffic because it was going to be 4th of July weekend and when we get home. And people do things like this and just not mean to. Because, I mean, he has snapped with bipolar before, but it was more, once you could get in there to say, what are you afraid of? Then suddenly he comes out of that. It was like something was snapping. So, whoa, okay. I mean, you guys tell me, what do you think? Tell me something. Where is it? Where?
Tell me about your financial problems again.
Oh, they suck. It would have been okay. It always has been. It's small business. They go up, they go down, and you stay together, and it's okay. It's not anything we've always made it through.
Were you losing the house?
That was up in the air because I was going to be able to call. I got a letter from their attorney that I had 30 days to make a proposal or something like that. But we were trying to work with options to see refinance or, because of his health, just go ahead, try to sell it and downsize, and then everything was okay. But then my dad was going to loan us the money to go ahead and work out with Countrywide. And so that wasn't an issue. That would have been okay. And he knew that. But
What about the cars?
I let the truck go back because it was a piece of crap. And it just was fast hog, and it was a smart thing to do.
What about the other car you had?
His Jeep, he voluntarily turned it in because he couldn't drive for a while. And when one's working, you do what you have to do. And we did, and that's what we've always done, and that was our strength.
What about the business?
I can't say it's great, but it's going. It's still going. It's still growing. We have another doctor working in there, a light therapy working there, 2 massage therapists, and then 2 more last week are wanting to come in and work with us. But that, again, falls on me. So that's...
But no financial troubles with the business?
I mean, it's had its up and downs, but as far as, say, bankers.
Teresa frames the practice doing well as proof she had no motive to defraud it. The inverse is closer to the truth. In a functioning business, discrepancies get noticed. Teresa had been taking money for long enough that discovery was approaching on its own schedule. Jim's life insurance policy was the other side of the equation. With Jim gone, the embezzlement problem disappears, the debt problem disappears, the payout arrives.
What kind of life insurance policy did you have on
Honestly,
you yourself and your husband?
Me, my dad carries mine, and it's like, I think, 150, 170 some thousand. His, I don't know. I told him that. For that reason, he and Tom worked it out. He gives up Tom, and just because people are people. And I am 23 years younger than him. And I didn't ever want that to be an issue, because there's no amount of money in this world worth my husband. He was my life, and I was his.
You ever have a drug problem?
Oh,
Never done any drugs?
oh yeah, God, high school, but I mean, pills, no, God, and work.
Anything over the last few years?
Outside of what they last 2 for surgeries, no. I can't take anything. Trust me, get a whole record full, they'll show you. Why do you ask?
Well, I mean, you're portraying yourself as having a great marriage, but, and I would consider a few arguments, still could be great because everybody has arguments. But you're portraying yourself as having this great marriage. I'll be honest with you, we've been checking and we're not finding that. We're finding that your marriage was awful.
How is that?
Well, I mean, we're finding that
2 or 3, 4 extramarital affairs.
What?
I don't think you want me to give you the names.
I do want you to give me names because I want it proved.
Be pretty easy to do.
Please.
look, No, we're trying to.
Our
You said
marriage
honesty.
wasn't perfect.
Right. Honesty is what
It
you.
wasn't, but
Honesty is
it is.
all you got.
But my husband is all I had. And when we first got married, and tell you what I told them, if I had had half as many as I had been accused of, it'd be unbelievable. And that's a fact. But, you know, we've been married 14 years, and yeah, we had problems, but they were ours. And it was till death do we part.
When you say that you got no financial problems that you couldn't work out,
That would have worked out.
both of you had filed Chapter 13. You lost both your cars.
When did he
There's
file
two.
13?
There's two liens against your house right now in the courthouse. And
When did he
you owe,
file Chapter 13?
let me finish. And you owe, there's two federal liens against the business for not paying your taxes.
That was being looked at as well.
But you keep saying that. But you're portraying it for something that it's not.
No, because Georgia and I are working now. Georgia at the IRS. Just hit me with it, guys. What do you think?
I don't like you being honest.
What do you think? Okay.
I don't like you being honest. I think the time that you left is just blatantly a lie.
But it's not.
It is. It's too far off.
Prove that
We got it proved. We know what time you left.
So what are you telling me? Are you thinking I killed my husband?
No, I'm just saying that you're not being totally honest. All right, and you said the honesty and your word is all you got.
And it
And right now
is.
your word isn't impressing me.
And that's fine, but I know when I left, I know what I've done, and I know our lives. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you things about my dead husband that are dead because of his sickness. It's not worth it. And we made it through that, and I did too. And that made us stronger. And I loved him. And for whatever reason, nothing in this world.
Teresa tells the detectives she loved Jim, that she would have stood by him. The detectives have witnesses who remember the marriage differently. Those witnesses are ready to talk, and they are not the only problem she has not accounted for.
Ask what you want. We'll go wherever, call George, do whatever, your affairs. I had one, we were separated, and actually, you all put him in jail. And that was Danny.
I'm honest.
But I'm kind of curious how the rest of them is.
That's how I am. I'm an honest kind of guy, and I can prove that you had more than one. I can prove that your finances weren't good. I can prove
I
that,
told you they weren't good because neither one of us had been well.
I can prove that they weren't getting any better. I can prove that you didn't leave the house when you said you did.
Robin says you didn't leave the house when you say you did.
Somewhere between 8:15 and 8:30.
Robin's 8:45 or later. At least at a minimum 8:45.
I ain't going there because she is.
But even without her, if she hadn't told us that, I can still prove that you left the house.
We know what time you left the house.
I think you knew what was going on. I do.
How would I have known what was going on?
That's what I'm here to find out. That's what I'm trying to find out. I would like for you to start being honest with
That is
us.
my husband of 14 years. And I loved him. Ask anybody.
Well, we've asked a lot of people.
Call his mother. call anybody. I don't know. Call them.
That's what we're telling you. We've been calling.
We've been calling people, and people been calling us.
Everybody we talk to says the same thing. And what you're portraying as your life is
So who
not.
are you calling? Because I can count the ones that know better.
We're calling people that knew you guys.
And they're calling us.
Like who?
Well, there's lots of people.
Guys, I love my husband. He had me 2 wonderful children. And I would have never hurt him. Ever.
And I don't say that I disagree with that.
I know that. I know that. And
I think there's a lot more going on than what you're willing to tell us.
I don't want to tell you things about him to make him look like a bad person, because he wasn't. He was sick.
All we're wanting is the truth.
And that is.
Yeah.
But again,
We're not getting we're not getting the truth from you. You know, not all of
because
it's the
it's
truth.
going to make him look like a bad person, he's not.
I mean, the truth, you know, is all you got.
I would go to jail before I let somebody know that man would go off and about beat me and his son to death.
I talked to people that says he had a problem, that he was belligerent. He was belligerent at the office with you, that y'all came to almost blows at the office, that it was so bad. We've already talked to people. I'm familiar with that.
But I would go to jail before I would let somebody think bad of him because of that.
Well, right now, the only 2 people that knows what's going on is this detective and myself. And, you know, and all we're trying to do is get to the truth. And whether you're telling us lies to keep from the truth coming out, which is
I don't
It's all
want
we
him to
can.
look like a bad person.
well, the time frame you leaving is not going to make him look bad. It's making you look bad because you're lying.
But I'm not lying. I walked out the door and got in the car. Maybe it took us a few minutes longer to load up or whatever.
Teresa is trying to argue that Jim's behavior at home would explain why she has not been forthcoming. Witnesses do confirm he was moody. None of them can confirm he was physically violent toward Teresa or the children. That matters, because the story she is building requires the jury to fill in a gap the evidence does not support. There are also witnesses filling in a different kind of gap. A deputy saw her leaving the house that morning. A friend rode with her to Chick-fil-A. And her own children have been asked what they remember.
You drove straight from there to Chick-fil-A, right?
No, one of the kids had to pee. And it was either at the Safe Time or some right there when you come out on 27, that one that's on
You're the only person saying that. Everybody else in that car says y'all drove straight to Chick-fil-A. From your house to Chick-fil-A is no more than 8 minutes.
Anywhere from
Let's even say you stop and use the bathroom. 12 minutes. So now you've left your house at 9 o'clock or later.
I know we didn't live that way.
And we got a deputy that's seen you leaving the house.
Drove right in front of your house while y'all
You seen a patrol car coming down the road.
Yeah, he did about we left. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was at 9:05.
that was at 9:05. You left the house at 9:05.
How did it take us that long to put the kids in the car?
That's what we're wondering. Why did it take you that long?
You seen the deputy go by. Deputy knows what.
Yeah, because I wave at them all the time.
So you left at that time.
That's possible. But I know when I walked out the door to put stuff in the back, it was about 8:30. But
What'd you do for 30 minutes?
God, who knows? Arguing kids. One forgot this, one forgot that. Who's sitting where? Who's going where? You name it.
How about, I'm just going to lay down another card for you.
Hit me with it.
The kids were in the car when you come out of the house. They were already sitting down in the car.
And got back out twice.
Robin got there and got in the car and waited on you for about 10 minutes.
No, she did not.
I mean, your son that's 11 who doesn't have the greatest concept of time, I'll give you that.
She didn't sit in that car 10 minutes. She got out and smoked.
Well, she may have been smoking, but she waited for you 10 minutes with the kids sitting in the car.
And that's when I was asking Jim, do you want to fix his toes? And he come out and fed the cats.
See, now that I'm giving you a little bit, you're giving me closer to the
It
truth.
makes sense, though, because it's like, okay,
Because the truth
they
is
get
easier
out
to
and they
tell
come
than a
out.
lie.
Well, honey, I wasn't lying to you. I'm just saying, I walked out the door at that time
Well,
to get in the car, and God knows I am the slowest woman in the world.
I mean, I don't mind telling you, though, I think you're lying to us. I do.
But
you were lying. I mean, it was.
But not on purpose. I went out.
Sure, it was 8:30.
And then let me
Because
tell you.
I did walk out at 8:30.
What
But that don't mean I left the driveway, but I knew I left at 8:30.
Well, that makes me think, well, what's she covering for? That makes everybody think, what's she covering for?
What is there to cover? I'm going to the car.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. I mean, it don't take 30 minutes to get in the car.
Have you had my kids?
I seen your son more than 10 minutes a day, and he might
You've seen
well.
the sun, okay? And I'll tell you what I tell everybody. You have socially acceptable, dysfunctional, and then the Conleys. Anything is possible. And guys,
The timeline is the clearest problem Teresa has. The fire ignition point and her departure from the house are not separated by any meaningful interval. That is not enough to make her confess. It is enough to make her revise.
And what time the fire call came in?
I have no clue.
Right around 9:30.
What?
Right around 9:30. And it'd been burning probably, in that 20-minute range. So right about the time you left is about the time that fire started.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's a way.
So is there anything else that you want to let us know?
I did not do this.
I'm not saying exactly that you did, but you know what happened.
I'm thinking that you had knowledge of what happened.
I
You
can
knew it was
tell-
going to happen.
I can tell you, no, I didn't know it was going to happen, but I know the last couple of weeks, he talked about wanting to die, he'd be better off dead. He was burdened.
Well, we asked you about that in the first interview.
And I told you, but I
go by.
but I told
That's
you-
why I take notes. 'Cause
but that's when I told you, my heart, when you asked, I said, my head, because of his illness,
the coroner asked
anything
you.
is possible.
The coroner asked
But
you,
my
has he ever threatened suicide? You said yes, he's threatened suicide, but not in a long time. But he has done it before.
Yeah.
Well, if he had threatened it 3 or 4 times in the last week, I think that would have probably been the time.
He
brought that
wasn't
up.
threatening though. It was like, he was sick and he's like, I just,
You know what?
like I'm having a bad day. My God, I'd just be better off dead and to have
let's take-
things
let's take-
said.
Let's take Jim out of the equation. Let's say that hadn't happened to him. I still think you know what was going to happen that day. I think you knew that y'all were going to try to burn that house.
Why would I burn my husband alive?
I said, let's take him out of it. Let's say that he wasn't burned up. Let's just say that
We didn't
for
know he
argument's
was
sake.
gonna call
Because I'm not arguing that point.
So that's just what he's saying.
Because that's not us.
Well,
That is not us.
You found yourself in a corner. You guys are back against the wall.
So you give it to the bank and you move in a smaller house.
Well, that would be the logical choice.
And that's the right thing.
You know what an accelerant is?
No.
Something that helps the fire get going. Gas,
Well, we had paint.
Fuel.
Well, it was painting and there was crap in the garage, and I think, goof off was like given in our house.
We're not talking about
So you know what? I'm just giving you an example. You know what an accelerant is now.
Yeah.
Okay. There's accelerant on the floor. Okay.
What
Plain and
floor?
simple, on your house. Okay.
Okay, what floor?
In where the computer is. Okay. Plain and simple. There's an accelerant. You left around 9:05. This fire call comes in at 9:30.
fire burned.
Somebody poured the accelerant, and
before anybody.
there is no way that you left at 9:05 and he had time. You knew that there was either you poured the accelerant. I'm going to be blunt. Either you poured the accelerant or he poured it, but you would have had to know about it. Plain and simple.
You had to know
Okay.
about it.
And left at that time.
I vowed, called my dad. I was scheduled to meet him. I left.
We don't doubt that. And I'm not saying that.
And
I
like I
believe
said
that.
the other day, I want to sit here and tell you in my heart, he would never do that. But in his head, I don't know that he didn't feel desperate that he wouldn't do that. But he had so many gifts that I don't think he'd do that.
Well,
I don't think that he would have set that fire without your knowledge. He wouldn't have burnt.
Yeah, I would have, because I wouldn't let him. You have no idea what I've been through him. And that's not bad. That is letting him know that people truly do love you for you. And it's okay that you're sick.
Teresa, let me tell you why lying and being honest is so important. Because a question like that, when you come back with an answer, now I don't know whether I can believe you or not, because I can already pick out a bunch of lies in your statements from way back. Things that I already knew to be true, and you lied to me about them. I try to see what you do. Well, I can't tell when you're being honest or when you're lying to me anymore,
Well, I
because you've lied so
told you.
much.
Honey, I haven't lied to you. Like I said,
Pick out a bunch of lies.
in his head, I can't say that because of the bipolar. His heart, Jill knows my father himself. And that is one of the most selfish things you could ever do. And that's why I say I don't think he would do that in his heart. And I would never. He was my life. He was my kid's life. He was that was our family. We were.
Teresa says she does not know what an accelerant is. The lab results do not require her cooperation. A petroleum-based substance was distributed throughout the house in a pattern inconsistent with any accidental origin. Gasoline would have announced itself by smell. Mineral spirits or paint thinner would not. Whatever was used, it was spread deliberately. Teresa's theory is that Jim's bipolar disorder led him to start the fire himself. The problem with that theory is that the medication supposedly managing his bipolar disorder was being given to him without his knowledge. Teresa had told multiple people at the office. She said it as though it were unremarkable.
you ever put anything? Have you ever given your husband medicine yourself? Have you ever administered medicine to him?
Benadryl, but just because you can't put things on
Never
the back.
given him any medicine at all? Any of his prescribed medicine?
Only if he asked me to get him one, and then
Never give it to him without his knowledge?
No, God no. I give him the bottle.
Okay. Would never put anything in a drink, anything like that?
Why?
I don't know. You tell me.
No,
Okay. Ever tell anybody that you did?
no.
Okay.
I mean, we.
Never tell anybody that you'd rather have him heavily medicated than to be belligerent with you and acting ugly at the house.
No, he usually handles that himself. A few shots of tequila and good night. But that's why I say with the bipolar, I had to learn that when he got like that, if you could look at him and say, "What are you afraid of?" he automatically, like a light switch, diffused. It was like, okay, wait a minute.
You didn't answer my question. Did you ever tell anybody that?
No, not unless, if we were over there playing, all of us, not me telling one person. They would be joking about stuff like raid bars or whatever, because we had a friend that loved them. But as far as to do that, no. 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 I'm not going to.
Teresa, you ever think that we're asking you some questions here, and would you not think that we would have some sort of knowledge for a reason for asking these questions?
I know you have plenty, but at the same time, I know me and my husband.
So what
lives.
would you say if I told you we had people saying you were putting stuff in his coffee to keep him medicated and sedated, since you say you have never done that?
I would say Jim Conley hadn't drank coffee in 3 months. And if that was the case, I think he would have.
Done it in the past?
No. Why
You
don't
said
his coffee?
I'll just throw it out there too. You said y'all drink coffee every morning, but the only reason he didn't drink coffee this morning was because his stomach was upset.
For the last couple of days. But we made it together, in the kitchen, together.
Yeah, so he hadn't drank coffee for the last couple of days, but now you just said he hadn't drank coffee in 3 months.
No, honey, I'm sorry. No.
That's what you said.
Let's slow down. No, 3 days, okay? My head as clogged as it can be. Go ahead and hit me with it, guys. Because we can go through this till blue in the face, and bottom line is, I didn't kill my husband, but never. And that's that. And I'll do whatever I have to help prove that. I'll cooperate any way I can. And
Polygraph?
I do that. And God and I both know that. And that's that. And
Would you take a stipulated polygraph?
what's that?
Difference is if you fail that one, then I can use it against you in court. And you're going to pass it. That's what you're telling me.
Why would I? Yeah, why would I worry about
That's
that?
just a question that I have to ask. It's something if I'm going to give you one, I have to ask you that.
Teresa says she is willing to take a polygraph. Before this interview ends, she will have the opportunity to make good on that offer. The results will not cooperate with her confidence.
Regarding the fire at your residence, do you intend to answer truthfully each question about that?
Yes.
Prior to this year, did you ever steal anything and then lie to cover the theft? Did you start that fire?
No.
Prior to 2007, did you ever falsify any official document?
No.
Did you plan with anyone to set that fire at your house?
No.
This concludes this portion of the exam. Remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. Teresa, I'm going to let the pressure off that cuff. Relax, but remain still for me for a moment. All right. A little movement in there, a little flinch, but it's okay. You may notice sometimes that I wait a little longer between questions. If you move, I just let it settle back to the baseline, and that's what that's about. But other than that, you did fine as far as sitting still again. We'll do another one, maybe 2 more. If you're as good at sitting still as you have been so far, we'll do a couple more and we'll be done, okay? Any questions about anything?
Just outside.
How's your arm? Just like last time.
Just brings up emotional things for me. And outside of that, I'm just trying to find a happy place to think so I can just answer your questions and focus on them.
And that's all you need to do is just listen and answer the questions. And again, you're doing fine as far as answering. I can hear you. And you're doing good as far as sitting still. So you tell me when you're ready and we'll do it again. Feet flat on the floor, look straight ahead. I'm about to return the instrument to operation. Regarding that fire at your residence, do you intend to answer truthfully each question about that?
Yes.
Before 2007, did you ever deliberately commit any fraudulent acts?
No.
Did you start that fire?
Yeah.
Did you plan with anyone to set that fire at your house?
No.
This concludes this portion of the exam. Remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. Let the pressure off that cuff. And you can move about. Now let's do, I think I've got good clean charts that I can score. Let's let you take another little break. It'll take me about 15 or 20 minutes. I got to print these charts. Lean forward for me, hold your hands out. I'll let you go back out there and chat with your friend. What? You did real good as far as sitting still. I told you I don't score anything until I get good clean charts to score. And I've got those, so we'll do that. And let's take you out here and let's take yours.
The polygraph examiner reviews the results. He and the other detectives have additional questions. Teresa did not perform the way she expected.
These are the charts that I ran. Like I told you before, I'm just a real direct guy. Been doing this for a long, long time.
I don't want you to be the other way.
Well, big problems with this test.
Okay.
And I think you knew there were going to be big problems with this test. I'm talking very, very big problems, okay? I told you before that I like to think I'm pretty good at reading people.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that I believe when you talk to me, it's that you loved your husband. I don't think you had any intention of killing your husband, but I'm absolutely positive you participated in starting that fire, okay? Now, the problem, Teresa, is I can't fix that if you're not willing to be honest with me. Well, tell me why you started the fire then, because you absolutely started that fire.
Sweetie, I didn't start that fire.
No, let me tell you something. I've been doing this a long, long time, and you absolutely did. I'm going to do something with you that I very, very rarely ever do, okay? I'm going to do two things. I'm going to show you a chart. And the reason I generally don't show people charts is because usually charts are very, very difficult to read. Remember I told you had to measure stuff? And remember I told you I look for a very consistent response?
Yeah.
All you need to look at is that right there. And if you look across here, it happens two times. It happens on 2 every time, and that's, do you plan to answer the questions truthfully? And then it happens on 4. And then on the next test, see what happens on 4 again. And there's other stuff in here, but this is the one that's just very easy to see. And then on the third one, it happens on 4 again, and they are identical. They're just huge. Remember that little bump that you had on the other one? That's the bump on 4. Well, question number 4 is, did you set that fire? Now, I score these charts, and I do numbers. I actually count and measure stuff. But I also have a little friend in the computer that scores charts for me. 111%. That's off the charts. Question 4, R4, is, did you start that fire? So we're not going to play any more games about whether or not you started the fire. You started the fire.
He told me he wanted to, and he told me to leave the house. And I said, baby, I'm going to get the car in Knoxville. And he said, don't ask me no more questions. And I said, baby, why? Just tell me why. He said, I just want you to know that I love you and I love you.
All right, and why have you not shared that little bit of information with the investigators up until now?
Because I didn't want them to think that I would sit in jail and take the blame before I let them know he started this fire.
Well, why is that? I don't understand that, Teresa. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because he was that good of a man. I'm afraid. I know I didn't help him. God is my witness. I did not help him. But I know that morning he had a candle lit, and he had a candle lit there, and he had newspapers there. As far as this whatever was spread through the house, I have no idea what that was. I don't know if he'd done it after I left immediately because he asked me to light the candle and he asked me to turn the oven on so he could start his fire, so he could start his...
Teresa has just described Jim making toast in the oven, then asking her to light a candle on the edge of the bed before she left. Making toast in an oven is not how toast is made. It is, however, one way to leave an open flame in a room with someone you have already sedated. She moves past the detail quickly. The detective does not.
I love Freudian slips, okay? Do you know what you just said?
I know what I just said, and I'm thinking, but so that he could start the toast in the oven. He told me to turn that on, and he told me to go ahead and light the candle in the office that was there on the edge of the desk.
Wait just a minute. We're talking about things that I don't know. I haven't been there. I don't know stuff. Let me get Jeremy in here. I'll call him. Hey, Jeremy, do me a favor. Step in here to the interview room when you get a second. I don't know a lot about the things, and when you start talking about...
A second detective enters the room. Teresa tries to walk back what she said. The accumulation at this point is a distributed accelerant with no electrical origin, sedatives in a dead man's bloodstream administered without his consent, a departure timestamp that lines up with the fire's start, a life insurance policy, years of financial fraud about to surface, and a witness list that contradicts her account at nearly every point. Implausible explanations are not going to be enough.
Tell me what I need to do, guys. Do I need to get an attorney?
That's it. If you want an attorney, then you can have one. I'm not
You
telling
tell me
I don't
what I
know.
need to do, because I know I didn't tell my husband.
You need to tell him the truth. And you
I
haven't
have
done
told
that
him the
yet.
truth.
No, you haven't. You lie at every breath. At every
You tell
breath.
me what's the truth.
Well, I don't know exactly. See, there's only two people who know what the truth are. One of them is dead now. And the other one is you. And we know you're lying. So the only
And we
way...
know I didn't accelerate anything.
We know you
I
started
know
the
I
fire.
didn't light a fire.
Well, you didn't. I've got proof of that. Okay.
That is not proof. That is proof that is on a piece of
You want
paper.
to bet that's not proof?
Well,
Want to
it's
risk
true.
your life on whether or not that's proof? Because that's what you're doing, Teresa.
I will
You're
lay
risking
my
your
life
life.
that I did not light a fire in my house. I will lay my life that I did not light a fire in my house. That is a fact.
Well, that's exactly what you're doing.
Well, I will, because I didn't light a fire in my house. And that I know. I've stood by him for too long and would have stood by him till the day we die.
And they're probably still trying to stand by him, probably still lying to cover up what you guys were doing and not
You
being
guys
honest
were
about
not
all this.
doing anything.
Yeah, you were, Teresa, okay? And what I'm thinking, Jeremy, and again, it's not my case, it's yours, but go get some murder warrants for her, put her in prison, because that's where she needs to be. But that's just my view. I'm thinking you charge her with murder, and you let her fight that uphill battle, because we've given her every opportunity to do something with it. Lock her up and let her dig out from that hole. And then we won't have to worry about her. That's what I'm thinking. Now, let me tell you, that's enough to get warrants for you for murder, okay? You need to understand that. That's enough to get warrants for you for felony murder. And I think that's what we need to do. Just lock you away.
Yeah, I need to go get an attorney, and I need to make preparations for my kids until we clear me of this.
Okay.
I need help to get an attorney.
When they arrest you, they'll give you that opportunity. You can fill out some forms like I talked about.
How many days do I have to get my children to my parents? Because I need
Right
to
now, we're going to talk to the DA's office. We're going to talk to the DA's office.
Teresa Conley was charged with felony murder and first-degree arson. 2 days before trial was scheduled to begin, she entered a guilty plea. She maintained even then that Jim had wanted to die and that she had helped him in order to relieve the family's financial pressure. She was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 30 years. The financial fraud was the engine of this. Jim was ill, largely housebound, and financially dependent on a woman who had already decided he was more valuable dead than alive. The sedatives were in his system because she put them there. The accelerant was in the house because she spread it. She walked out the front door with the children, told an 11-year-old the smoke was from burning papers, and drove to a restaurant. The thing that almost worked was the simplicity of it. The thing that did not work was that she kept talking.